USMLE Step 1 is changing to pass-fail. That's what's being discussed on all the medical student message boards. And a lot of applicants are thinking, what should I do? What does this mean for me? Should I change my strategy? The short answer is no. I'm Dr. Chris Cimino, Vice President, Chief Medical Officer of Kaplan Medical. And why do I say so clearly that you should not change your strategy? There's a couple of reasons. First, there's just the practical reality of the schedule. Now, international medical graduates may not have a schedule per se, but we know it takes a certain amount of time to prepare for Step 1 and prepare for Step 2 CK. If you're planning on being in the match in 2023, then that largely dictates your schedule. We know it takes anywhere from 12 to 18 months to prepare for Step 1 and 6 to 10 months to prepare for Step 2 CK. And laid down on a calendar, that means you likely have to take Step 1 well before any anticipated change. Now, even if you're planning on starting your studying later, let's say this summer, that puts you close to that potential switchover date. And maybe you'll have to decide, do I delay or do I cut short my studying? In general, we don't recommend lengthening your studying. Once you reach a plateau, you're at risk of fatigue and starting to lower your score by too much studying. Likewise, for obvious reasons, we don't recommend you cutting short your studying if you're not ready. But if you're going to fall near that switchover date, you might have some wiggle room. But here's the catch. We don't really know what the switchover date is. They've only said that it will not happen before January 2022. They haven't confirmed when it will happen. So, if you don't know when that switchover is going to occur, what should you do? It still makes sense to prepare for a numeric score test. For one reason, it's going to be harder, but if it switches to pass-fail, well, that's an easy transition to make. On the other hand, if you prepare thinking you're going to take a pass-fail test and the deadline is shifted and you suddenly find yourself taking a numeric test, that's going to be a lot harder. There's also another aspect to this. Certainly having a numeric score helps distinguish international medical graduates from each other and from U.S. students with numeric scores. But when it goes to pass-fail, no one really knows what people will be judged on. Some of that is the other missing piece of information. The Coalition for Physician Accountability is making recommendations which we haven't seen yet. That's going to change what the emphasis is. So until we know that, you should be planning on taking a numeric test. When those recommendations come out, then everyone's going to shift their focus, and Kaplan will too. We will be there to help you prepare for whatever that new emphasis is, because that's what Kaplan does. We build futures one success story at a time. Good luck in your studies.